Being asked to create 4 films around the subject of mental health and its impact on young people has changed the way that I view our youth, and I've been able to witness their incredible capacity to manage adversity and how eloquently they convey their own experiences. As an audience, I think we're very privileged to be able to hear these very personal and intimate accounts. They're told in such a profound way that they provide lessons for us all, really, to be able to learn and to live our life by. The first film in the series is about Beth. After meeting Beth, I was in awe of her strength. She lives her life with Tourette's, but she doesn't allow that to get in her way. She's a synchronized swimmer. She's also a swimming instructor. It's quite remarkable how honest and open she is with her experiences, in particular when she shares the complications around romance, which is hard enough as it is when you're a teenager, let alone living life with Tourette's. I think probably most notably, or the part that I felt most moved with was when she talks about how ignorant society can be and the abuses she's received from the wider community. Yeah, it's clear that managing this kind of abuse has made her more robust, and she's become a spokesperson. She's created her own support groups and her own support networks, which I think makes Beth a truly genuine leader, and she should be celebrated as such.
Hi, I'm Beth. I have Tourette's, and that basically means my brain hiccups. The synapses misfire, and it causes a tic, which is either a vocal or motor tic. So either something comes out your mouth really loud, or your arm moves. It's inherited, but I don't know where it came from, to be honest. Most of the time I know, sometimes I don't. It's like a premonitory urge, they call it. So I get bubbles in my stomach when it's a vocal tic. Then on my arms and my legs I get like pins and needles and like fluttery feelings just before I tic. Tourette's, 1 in 100 children have it, but then some of them grow out of it. So it's common as autism apparently, but then most children grow out of it and I just haven't. Well, I'm usually fine in public, then I'll go home and have a meltdown. Because I'll be like completely overloaded from being in public. With the tics and with everyone staring at me, that overloads me. And like a lot of people with Tourette's laugh about it rather than cry about it, because there's nothing you can do about it. It's just your reaction you can control, and having that bit of control is quite nice. Like if it's at work, the parents don't understand. They don't want to. They just want the swim teacher to be normal, teach the kids how to swim, not scream randomly and then teach the kids how to swim. So I usually explain to the kids, and the kids like tell their parents off. Kind of like, she can't help it. I can't believe you be like this. That was on the main page for quite a while. The actual photo. And then I drew it because his dad requested it. And then it's been like people saying things, horrible things about me, saying that I'm the devil and just horrible, horrible things. One man came up to me in a pub once and said, "Have you got a dog?" "No." "Then stop barking." Then I had to explain to him I got Tourette's. Then he seemed okay, but then he started again and it was like, just give up. They're not ignorant because they're ignorant. They're ignorant because they're hurting. If they talked about the hurt, it'd help them and make them notice that actually this like image of perfect people doesn't exist, and there's no perfect people. There's just people that are trying to get on with each other and trying to survive, really, in an imperfect world. Yeah, I hadn't thought of romance, but the actual practicalities are just... yeah. Hard work. Most of the advice I give to new tickers, like when they're going, oh my gosh, it's going to get harder, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. It's like, well, it is hard, but it does get easier in the fact that you get used to it, you get coping mechanisms, and you learn that not everyone's going to be ignorant. It's got a lot easier because I discovered the support groups and then I made one myself. And talking to other people makes you realise that you're not alone and that everyone else has, well, not everyone else, but everyone else there has the same problems as you. And that actually there are people that understand.
The next film is about Jed, who is an assured, caring young man who embodies the notion that we help our friends when they're down. He admirably opens up about coming out as being gay, and instead of focusing on himself, he concentrates on the effects that had on his family. He then goes into the way that he and his peers support each other through the tough times, and I find this very encouraging, really. A nurturing aspect that I wasn't expecting from a young man, and possibly a lesson for our wider community that as a society we pick up those who are less fortunate, pick them up and bring them along with us.
Coming out as gay now is not a big issue. I know so many people, some of my friends in fact have said, oh, they started seeing girls or started seeing a boy, and I thought, oh wow, like they've never came out officially saying they were gay or bisexual. They've just told me that they're seeing someone the same sex. And I just said it's fine, you know, I'm not one to judge and I don't think no one should judge. I didn't come out till after high school. I was quite worried in high school. I think I found out when I was about in year 10. I started realising, oh wow, I like boys as well as girls, and yeah, I was very scared in high school for coming out. Because I know a lot of people, especially in high school, a lot of people are very judgmental, especially at that age. But when I came out of high school, I realised a lot of people supported me. When I was younger, I didn't really care what people thought of me. But then I kind of, if I did, I kept it to myself. And I wouldn't show any emotions to any of my friends or my family. I'd probably keep it locked up inside of me, and then usually sometimes at night while I'm in bed on my own, I'll just think, oh no, what is this? I'll have deep thoughts to myself, questioning myself before I came out. Sometimes I even cried, like, oh no, what's everyone going to think? My family, my grandma, my dad. I think it's best for people to express and come out with their feelings and emotions to someone else, like a loved one, a friend, a family, even teachers or anyone. Because if you do keep it inside, your mental health will just build and build and build, and it'll just explode and you'll just feel horrible. It's happened to me a lot, where you've just kept your emotions inside, and then one day just the bubble pops and you're just crying and every emotion comes out, anger, sad, you just, everything. I tell my friends a lot more than I tell my mum or my dad or my brothers. So yeah, it's it's good that I've got friends out there, but I wish I could tell my mum and my family a lot more than I tell my friends, because I don't want them to worry too much about me. And if she worries too much, I don't think I'll enjoy. I don't think I'll have a good relationship with her, because she's always there worrying. And I want her to just relax and be more laid back with me. And I used to give my mum a lot of stress because I didn't know who I was or what and I just used to sometimes just be horrible to her. I mean, I don't particularly mean it, but it's just when you're scared to tell someone how you feel, and you can't tell them all, so all your emotions build, you will just, like I said, you just go angry for some unknown reason, and I have done before to my mum. Yeah, social media. I know a lot of young people use social media: Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and obviously when I was going through my emotions, I used to express my feelings on Facebook, and people used to get worried. And I always thought of that not being a big deal as expressing my emotions face to face to someone. There is positives and negatives to it. I mean, you get to see friends and speak to friends online, but also there's people out there who'll look at your profiles and judge you, and you can get horrible messages from other people, or you can get messages from anyone, which is quite scary. I've had messages from random people on Instagram and Facebook, and I think the best thing is if you don't know them, block them or report them. I know with mental health as well, I know suicide and self-harm is really difficult for some people, and especially for the parents to find out that the children, especially through teenage years, it's difficult. But yeah, I know a lot of people that self-harm, and it's really, really upsetting, and that's why everyone has got to be there for each other, especially the parents and friends, family, colleagues.
With your friends who are self-harming, do you try and help? Is there a way that, as a young person to young person, is there a way you can help?
I mean, yeah, we all try and get out and do as much stuff together as possible, because sometimes they have home issues, so sometimes they have issues with the parents, like they'll have fights with the parents and they'll get upset about it. So what my friendship group does is that we all try and stick together, and if one of us is having a problem at home or anything, we're always offered to stay at each other's houses, or if not, we'll go out and, I don't know, sit on the park, go to a cafe, go to a pub or anything, and just spend time together and just get away from the situation that is going through his head. Because I think it's always good to be active, especially if your mind's going through a lot at home.
The next film is about Josh, who was a wonderfully calm young man. He was generous enough to share his love of geocaching. What I loved about this subculture was that it broke down the stereotypes of the youth stereotypes of drug taking, drinking, and laziness. Yeah, there's a certain innocence involved in using a mobile app to go on a global treasure hunt. It invokes adventure and journey, and it felt very wholesome. Then Josh went on to describe, I think, an experience that many young people feel, and that's the being disenfranchised from the decision making from the governments, and realizing that those in power actually don't understand or know the needs of the young people who they're making the decisions for. It's no surprise that Josh is an advisor to the local councils around young people's issues, and I think that he's a true leader and should be looked upon as a role model for other young people.
This is strange. So geocaching is anywhere, anytime outdoor game / hobby, which involves finding a geocache placed anywhere you can imagine. So you have to follow your GPS on your phone or on the app, and it gives you coordinates where you follow it. So at the moment it's saying it's 23 metres away. So it's giving you an roughly idea where it is. It gives you a map to tell you that you're on the right path. So at the moment it's 11 metres away. So I can see there's a hawthorn tree. Then when you're close to it, it gives you a hint. And the hint's underneath a tree, under the stones. Try not to fall here, because there's some brambles. And here's the geocache. Minding the brambles. And there you are, that's the geocache. So inside here, we have a logbook where people, I won't show you the usernames though, but you sign your username and date it. And then we've got swag, which is stuff we all get. So it's literally dices, bits of toys. And always what you do is place everything back in the cache. I don't actually have autism though. I've got a condition quite similar, but it's nothing like it. But in our society, they class it as similar to autism. Basically, I've got 47 chromosome disorder XYY, and it's extremely rare. When I was born, I was 1 in 1,000 males. It only comes in males. It's more just genetic, but it does bring in dyslexia. And then some other people has got, it brings on autism with some people, and ADHD, and I'm just dyslexic and tall, because all people with it, well, males at all. So there is the map, and then that's the page of the cache. So it's where would you have hidden me. Wood is giving a massive clue, because it's that, and then there's a hint, which is giving you tucked away, so it's tucked away somewhere. I used to be really, really socially awkward. I'm a lot better now than I was with socialising and so on and forth. And now I'm practically fine, to be fair. You kind of grow out of it. So it's tucked away in here. And there you are. That's another geocache. On top of there's a cap, which opens, and there's a little logbook inside. Yeah, and then it's a tiny little thing, which that's the logbook. Yeah, and that we've been let down by the government on more than one occasion. It's all middle-aged plus people in this government, in the Houses of Parliament and so on and forth, just discussing stuff. They don't have any younger people's opinions and so on and forth.
Do you think that the society and the government care about young people?
No, I don't think so. Well, it's like you look at youth unemployment now. Well, before the lockdown, it was still really high. That's just how it. There's not. They're closing like youth clubs down, and well, that's more councils, but it's all to do with government. Cutting a lot of funding to social schemes and stuff like that, schools. And that's why they're letting them down, I think, to be fair. Just appreciate what you've got and the people around you. Not to take stuff for granted. Planned things can always be rearranged. Yeah, just be safe.
Phoebe's story is heartbreakingly honest. Her wisdom and strength is there for all to see, not to mention her incredible gifts as a poet and an artist. Phoebe's story deals with issues around suicide, and it does come with a trigger warning. Within her story, Phoebe discusses her dependence and her need for services, and how important they are for those who require them. I think most importantly, what shines through for me is Phoebe's inner strength. She is I think a warning, or maybe a reminder to all parents and carers that all children require is love. They should be held in that esteem and the wonder that all children bring. They carry that potential that they can achieve anything they set their hearts towards, and they should be nurtured and encouraged as such.
Well, my poetry started off because I had a support worker from Bernardo's, and she introduced me to poetry, and I just really enjoyed it because it gave me a sense of relief doing poetry and being able to express my emotions through, a beautiful thing. And I liked the attention that I got from the poetry because it was such a good and positive thing. A lot of my poems are based off my mental health, so I do struggle a lot with my mental health, and I've got really low self-esteem, so I do struggle to, lift myself up and believe in positive things people are saying, which is kind of horrible because people see me as such a bubbly person, but deep down I'm nothing like that. It's just really an act. And with poetry, it's opening a door and kind of exposing myself in a way. Say with my poem Exposed, that's about being honest with my CAMS worker because I'm with CAMS. And basically it was just about me trying to hold information in and keep it inside, but I know that won't help me. So the poem Exposed was me expressing my emotions to my CAMS worker and explaining fully what had gone on. Soaking coldness drips onto my snowy lips, blurred trees behind me, roots that grab my chest and brings my consciousness back and forth. Which is the right direction? Hands that the frost has clenched holds my heart.
rapidly taking my thoughts round my bloodstream, cheerful smiles as I painfully fade into a memory. Shock of the wheels that drive by, spinning with my eyes, slammed shut and tied down ears, unable to take anyone's hand. Voice box that only explains pain, not thoughts. Eyes that are filled of Friday's assumptions, clothes that walk their own path. Tongue that remembers tasting the fear of 2019. Heart that has taken a huge role because of the brain. Stumbling bones that grind on rustiness. Muscles that grab my soul tightly and become stone. Tears that hurt the ribs of my loved ones. Thoughts that overflow the bucket and fill others. Food that also gets rejected cries. Red wires asking for help. Mirrors that lost their self-worth years ago. Organs that are kept busy and on their toes. Shoes that can no longer run away from the truth. Myself, finding the meaning of self-worth. Well, with my overdose, I have had multiple suicide attempts, and I have been in hospital, but my recent one, that was in June, I was in resus because I did take a really lethal overdose. And when you're in a dark place, and because I have no distractions and you're constantly thinking because of, you've got no release, you're just constantly thinking about all the negatives and you get yourself into a negative trap cycle. And my experience was that I've not had quite a good home life, so I've moved in with my friend and that's caused a lot of stress, and I genuinely can't deal with stress a lot, as it puts me in a situation, makes me physically ill as well. And with my suicide attempts, it's always been because I feel like I don't deserve to live, and I don't know, it's just not having the sense of self-worth that people need to have. I think a key factor for people's mental health getting worse is not being listened to. People just assume things and put you into a category and keep you stuck there. And I think services do wait a stupid amount of time to help people. And I know that there's a lot of people that are underfunded, but it's not really an excuse. Like, if you need to listen to people, and when you don't feel listened to, it's detrimental to your self-worth, because you think, oh well, I'm not good enough for them to help me, and then it creates competition. Oh well, I need to get worse because then they'll see me. Bernardo's has really helped me. It's an amazing service, is Bernardo's. I'd recommend it to anyone. Everyone's just welcome, and it's not like they're reading off books. They're actually genuine people, because you go to people, professionals, and you speak to them, and it's like they're just reading off a book, and you're not getting any sympathy or empathy. But with Bernardo's, it's totally different. Like, you feel like they're your friends and they're actually there for you. So with Bernardo's, it's like having a new family.